Now, the next stage of my journey was all about understanding the transition for me going from somebody that was kind of like trying to manifest things on my couch in a way. What I was doing is I was focused. I was like, I know I want to like one day share videos. I know I want to one day help people with the ideas that I have to share. But I didn't really know how to do it. And I remember one time I was working at Barney's and I met Jack Canfield, for example, and I helped him with something, which is a real synchronous type opportunity because he wasn't even trying on, like he wasn't buying women's shoes. I worked in women's shoes at Barney's, New York. He was buying like clothes, but there was no one in the clothing department to ring him up. So he came over, was like, hey, can you ring me up? And I was like, whoa, I recognize you. And then he was really nice, and he said that, hey, I'm going to, I told him, I was like, I was all cheesy. I was like, one day I'm going to do what you do for a living. And I felt so cheesy saying that because I'm sure a lot of people tell him that. And he's like, oh, really? He's like, well, I have something called Train the Speaker, and like, and it was like $20,000. And I was like, yeah, I don't have $20,000 to spend on that, but I wish I could, And what he eventually, and it was a cool interaction. He gave me his business card. I still have the business card in a Ziploc baggie somewhere that I've kept safe. And it's actually come full circle because recently I was invited to a mastermind that he was running, and you're only invited to this mastermind if you're already like, it's like I'm doing what I said I was going to do in a way. And it's kind of come full circle because he probably doesn't know. He doesn't know. I know, guaranteed, doesn't know that I was that guy from years ago helping him that one time at the women's shoes or whatever, helped him ring up a dress or whatever for his wife. But it's funny how it's come full term because I was in Tulum, Mexico recently, and they gave me a call, that place that I go to in Costa Rica, and they said, hey, there's a mastermind that Jack Canfield's running here, and you're invited to come, and you have to have already done all this stuff in order to get it, but you're one person that he invited. And I was like, wow. I was like, I thought that was just really cool. I wasn't able to do it because it wasn't enough notice, and I was going to that place in Costa Rica a week after that, so I ended up not going. But anyways, where was I getting with this? So I thought someone was just going to put me on. I thought somebody was just going to like tell me one day, hey, like you have this amazing ability. You're going to be a speaker. Let me put you on my platform. But it never happened. So there was like a guy I was listening to at the time. His name was Gary Vaynerchuk. You probably have heard of him. His name's Gary V. He talks a lot about content, crushing it. You got to hustle and work, hustle your face off. And it's like a work hard mentality. And that's kind of what I needed to hear at the time. Sometimes we could say like working hard isn't that spiritual. But when you're in the spiritual side of things for like 5, 6, 7 years and you're not really taking any action, that's what I feel I needed to hear. I needed to hear that. And what I did is I remember I was living at my dad's house. I was walking around up in the like where my room was upstairs. And I remember there's this one moment. I was walking to go to the bathroom, and then I just had this moment. Like if I make videos every single day for a year, I just had this intuitive knowing that my life would transform. So what I did is I just said, you know what? I have this 9-to-5 job. I'm still working 40 hours a week, but no matter what, every single day I'm going to make a video no matter what. And I made that choice. And what happened is within 2 or 3 months, within 3 weeks, I had a video go viral. It's the most cringy video that I have. It's not the most cringy. I've got a lot of cringy videos, but I was, it's like the most powerful way to reprogram your subconscious mind. It has almost 1 million views now. And, when it started getting views, I remember I was like, I went from like 1,000 subscribers up to like 20, 30,000 subscribers on my channel within a couple weeks. And I was like, there's something here. Oh my gosh. So I just kept doing it. I kept making videos, and it was such an exciting time, to be honest. I was like, just focus on how much value I can add. My dad didn't like that I was filming videos in my sister's room. So it was kind of funny because my sister wanted me to film videos in her room because she thought it was kind of cool that like, there were so many videos on YouTube with like me inside of her room, and she's had a cool little background. So I filmed a lot of my videos in her room actually, because the room I was in was a little bit smaller and it wasn't as filming friendly. And after about 2 or 3 months, I started realizing, hey, there's something here. I had, I think, 50,000 subs. That's when I reached out to a couple other influencers. One of them was Victor Odo, who many of you know, and we connected. We ended up talking on the phone and connecting as friends. And we felt a deep connection with each other. Like we knew each other already. And we just, he was living in Michigan and he was driving to San Diego, and he was like traveling in an RV with his 3 kids and his wife. And we ended up connecting, and he ended up giving me some advice as to how to get like coaching clients and stuff. And he's like, yeah, you could pretty much go full time now if you just figure out how to get a couple clients. I was like, yeah, this is the bills I have every month. So in 2012, when I radically, if you listen to the first episode, I radically just like quit my job. And I even kind of talked about this episode. I just said, nope, don't want to be here anymore. And what happened is this time I realized I want to do this more calculated. So I could have probably left in like June, but for some reason I waited. And in August, I waited till there was a Conor McGregor-Mayweather fight that was happening. And what I wanted to do is I wanted that to be my last day working, and because I knew it was going to be extraordinarily busy, and it's a commission-based job, and it was in Vegas, so the fight was in Vegas, so I knew it would be busy. So what I did is I said, okay, I want to work opening that day. So I asked for that shift like months in advance, like a month in advance, and I wanted that to be my last day working. So I put my 2 weeks in. 2 weeks before that, my last day was the McGregor-Mayweather fight. And what I did is that day I went in. It was so bitter. It was so cool. I worked from 9 to 5. At 5 o'clock, I was done. I then went to my buddy's house. I watched the fight, and it was like such a surreal experience because after that, I never had to go to work again and be told what to do. I always tell people the biggest shift you'll make in your life is not from going from $100,000 a year to $1 million a year. The biggest shift you'll ever make in your life is when you go from working a 9 to 5 job where someone controls your time to going to working for yourself. When you make that transition, it will change your life. And it eventually kind of the blissfulness of it's like I could do what I want right now. No one can tell me what to do. You become such a rebel. And I remember I was so excited to do what in August when I quit. I think I was right at about 100,000 subs. Now, first off, as well, understand you do not need 100,000 subscribers to go full time with anything. I could have done it at 10,000 subs if I would have learned how to coach and get people in my coaching and stuff like that. Like you could do it way earlier with maybe 1,000 followers if you do it right. And that's something as well that I teach people how to do is my buddy Victor Otto and we teach people how to go full-time with their passions, how to ditch your 9 to 5 job, do what you love full-time, whether that's some type of online business, whether it's some type of passion like art, music, podcasting, content creation, coaching, Reiki master, healer, whatever it is. We show people how to determine what your bills are and how to go full-time and to buy your time back. And if you want, there's a free training where Victor and I show how we created viral content, how you can too. There's 2 main principles you use for it. We show people how to go full-time to get your coaching clients without having to be some hardcore salesperson. Literally, you can have people come to you. And there's a process that we use for that we've used to get to where we are. If you go to aarondoughty.com/FTP, stands for full-time purpose, Aaron Doughty, AARONDOUGHTY.com/FTP. And what you will see is a webinar that will show you exactly everything we know about it, everything we've learned, and how you can apply that in your life as well.